Now, when it comes to attracting bees into the garden, lavender really does take some beating. They flower from early right the way through till midsummer, make a glorious display, lots of different varieties, and attract, as I say, a range of bees and other pollinating insects. They can tend to get very leggy and straggly with age. They're not a long-lived plant, and in time they get very woody and just flop open. So to keep them bushy and compact, what we tend to do is to give them a trim when the flowers have faded, which they have now, so all the nectar's been taken and they produce seed. We give them a trim down just to keep them bushy and to produce some side shoots. Now, some people don't like to prune them at this time of the year because these little seed capsules will drop their seeds onto the floor in the winter, and seed-eating birds like finches will come along and feed on them. So what I do in my garden to create a balance so that I'm providing food for the birds is not to prune half of them down. So all the freestanding ones that are dotted around the garden will be left, and then I'll tidy those up in the spring. The ones on the front, however, that are in a hedge, I will give a trim. So these will be left, but I just want to also point out, in this plant here, there's a big area of dead. And that's been caused by my son's dog, Henry, cocking his leg on it. Now, dogweed is like a weed killer. And on lavender and on the box next to it, where he cocked his legs, we got a big dead patch. So I had to cut that out, and I'm hoping that next year it will grow. And as I look inside there, I can see some nice little shoots developing. So I think with a bit of luck, next year that will grow in when it's had its trim. But to the front of the garden now, and we're going to give the lavender there a trim. So here at the front of the house, we've got lavender either side of the pathway up to the front door, and it's just about gone over now, so it's time to give it a trim, because I do need to keep these plants tidy. And it's very simple. You just need a sharp pair of secateurs, and what I'm aiming to do is to cut the flower stalks off just into the growth where it started. So it's just literally a tidy up with a pair of shears, which gets rid of all those flower heads off there. That will encourage some of the side shoots to grow, and then in the spring I might even give it just a second trim just to tidy it up before it really starts into growth and makes more flowers. So that will tidy this up and keep it nice and compact for the winter, whereas the plants on the back garden will provide seed for the birds to keep them happy.